It's reasonable to question why a heat pump, when most of us have been used to gas central heating boilers. Let's explore this. We are going to look at number 1, reducing CO2 emissions, number 2, increased efficiencies, number 3, low temperature heating systems, and number 4, reliability. Energy used to heat the UK's buildings and homes is a significant contributor to the UK's carbon emissions. Of the 17% of carbon emissions from heating in buildings, about 13 to 14% can be attributed to domestic homes. There are around 28 million homes in the UK, with an estimated 83% on mains gas. The gas boiler is the most common heating method. The collective emissions of all those boilers must be reduced if we are to meet our net zero targets. There is lots of additional information available if you would like to know more around carbon emissions and reduction targets. Some of the links and QR codes displayed on screen provide lots of information. So, how can heat pumps help reduce emissions? They operate using electricity and generate zero CO2 emissions at point of use. With each individual home reducing its emissions, collectively across the millions of homes in the UK, this will have a positive impact on our reduction. Of course, electricity must be generated to run them. The UK's electricity grid is also turning to more renewable and low carbon methods of production. Growing use of local property solar PV and battery storage all helps reduce our needs to burn fossil fuels. A move towards renewable energy usage is necessary, and installing a heat pump is one of the biggest actions you can take to reduce your home's carbon footprint. Heat pumps are more efficient than gas or oil boilers. The electric energy consumed by a heat pump is supplemented by the extra energy it extracts from the outside air. The thermodynamics or vapour compression cycle allows heat pumps to achieve these higher efficiencies. We cover how this works in a separate video. For example, if you supply 1 kilowatt of electrical energy to the heat pump, it can generate over 4 kilowatts of heat output. So in this instance, it would mean the heat pump is producing 4 units of heat for every unit of electricity consumed and would have an efficiency of 400%. A gas boiler, however, for every 1 kilowatt of gas used, can only provide just above 90% efficiencies, as it's only possible to obtain energy from the fuel burned. This efficiency reduces depending on system design and in-life use of a boiler. In a simple summary, heat pumps require less energy to create the same amount of usable heat for a property. However, electric unit costs in the UK are higher than gas. Although you use less energy at source, it does not mean a heat pump is automatically cheaper to run. The system must be designed and installed correctly to make sure it is not using excessive electricity that would result in higher energy bills. A correctly designed and controlled heat pump system can easily achieve that. Traditionally, heating systems have been used to rapidly replace heat within our homes as it's lost through the fabric of our buildings. The colder the temperature gets outside, the quicker the heat leaves our home due to the difference in temperature. Lots of people would time their heating so that it's warm when they get up in the morning, turns off whilst they are out for the day, letting the property cool down, and turn back on again so it heats up for your return in the evening until bedtime. This on-off style operation means the temperature of our radiators must be hot, typically over 70 degrees C, so that the warming happens quickly. This requires your heat source, whether that's a boiler or a heat pump, to work hard to create the heat. Heat pumps work particularly well when they are at a lower temperature. They stay on for longer, gently topping up the heat and maintaining a more stable temperature in the home. This can create a more pleasant heating environment. We will cover heat transfer in far greater detail during other training modules and how system designs and controls can optimise efficiency and comfort compared to the traditional on-off methods most of us have been used to. Heat pumps are incredibly reliable and utilise minimal numbers of moving parts with their operation. They actually use the same basic components that's in your fridge at home and the millions of air conditioning units that are around the world. We will explain what these are in a later video. In summary, why a heat pump? Number 1. Reduce CO2 emissions. By replacing boilers that are burning fossil fuels, heat pumps will play a significant role in reducing household emissions. Number 2. Efficiencies. We can extract far more heat from a unit of electricity on a heat pump than we can from a unit of gas, making them more efficient by using less energy overall and no need to burn fossil fuels. Number 3. Low temperature systems. With the right system design and controls, your home's heating system can be more comfortable to live with, and lower temperatures also improve efficiencies further. Number 4. Reliability. Heat pump technology has been around for a long time and is incredibly reliable. It's not new and doesn't need time to prove itself. We know they work incredibly well when designed and installed correctly.